Wow, what up, world? Teasing man back with another video. And today I want to talk about self accountability, expounding on self accountability from the notion in which we know it, everything that it entails from my perspective. And the reason I want to talk about this today because I've recently I've recently learned a personal from a personal aspect of self accountability. We throw that word around a lot. You need to be accountable for your actions, or you need to be responsible for this. You need to be responsible for that. You know, you hear that word a lot in a line of law enforcement. You have to be held accountable when it comes to laws or breaking laws, and just to give it a better a visual to you of accountability and what it really means. You know, the word accountability could go for anyone, but self accountability, that's the tricky one, because from personal experience, self accountability, and I say this a lot and I'll say it again today, that's one of the hardest things you're going to ever do in your life, is to be able to hold yourself accountable, and truly envision your flaws and how they impact others, especially your loved ones. Because I was making an observation about myself rather than the world, like we always typically do. We try to look at other situation or other shortcomings and be like, there's some unaccountable people. But what happens when you hold yourself accountable, you realize your flaws instantly. And that's why most people run away from self accountability. So to expound on self accountability, you have to dive deeper, because that phrase is too much of a cliche, so it's easy for someone to dismiss it. So I figured if I expound on it, it could help under someone or a lot of people understand the true meaning of self accountability. Uh, and let's take it from a personal aspect, which is me, who you're looking at. Um, I'm a very confident, self-aware, some would say arrogant, cocky. I believe in myself sometimes. I don't even want to say to a fault, but it could rub you the wrong way if you're around me too long, because I have supreme confidence. It's nothing in my mind I can't do. You tell me I can't do something, I'm gonna show you a liar. That's the type of person I am. Winner's mentality. I have to win no matter what, because I'm not gonna half-ass nothing at all, or I'm not gonna do it at all. And I was always big on accountability and respect. Well, I am big on that, those two things. And I was getting into an argument with one of my brothers one day, and the argument is irrelevant, but the findings is what I want to expound on, because I think I've reached a level of maturity now to where I'm like, why am I still arguing with my big brother over nonsense and pettiness? And I had to start thinking about what I do. I always think about how he triggers me. He says certain things that I don't like, and it makes me act a certain way. But then I put myself in his shoes, like literally, honestly, like not just because they say that's something you should do to make people feel better. No, I honestly put myself in his shoes, and I listen to myself through his lens and how I'm talking to him and how I might receive it if I was him. And what I found in honestly doing that was I was wrong like a motherfucker, because my actions dictated his actions. Even though at the end we probably both ended up wrong and said things and hit below the belt, pause. Like, I had to go back to what triggered him about my demeanor towards him, and my arrogance, and thinking I'm right about everything, and he's not. Like my way is the end all be all. And it's like I almost had an epiphany. I was awakened, oh, well, maybe if I'd have went about that different, the conversation would have never got off tone in the first place. Because when I said blah 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 blah, that triggered him, and then the message got thrown out the window. Like something simple as that is being self accountable. So now, by me making that recognition, or recognizing that rather, it helped me moving forward. You know, we did the apologies, but now as I talk with my brother, I consider my tone. I consider how I'm approaching said subject. I consider how he might take what I'm saying. You know, like, you know, for the most part, we pretty cool, but sometimes there's layers to us that we don't recognize because we can never see ourselves. Other people see us. So in our minds, they losing their mind by even feeling a certain type of way of how we acted, not realizing our actions are dictating their actions. Especially if you're dealing with people who just as tough as you. Now you really got a problem. So self accountability it's almost a necessity. Like you can't go on in life properly without it, or you're just a delusional person roaming the earth. So if you're a person that's always finding yourself in arguments and feeling like you're being wronged, or nobody understands you, or they always think ask yourself a question. What am I doing to trigger them? But honestly ask it. Like honestly ask it. And I mean it's tough. And I think that's why most people don't truly assess themselves, because when I did this, it was the toughest thing I had to do, because that little argument with my brother led to other relationships I have with people and how they may see me. And it opened Pandora's box, and I started realizing, oh, I'm a real life asshole. And sometimes even when I'm right, people don't care, because my tone and my mannerisms are going about it. It triggers them, and now we missing the point. So I have to be accountable for my actions, because now that I'm aware of what I could be doing or making people feel a way, I can correct it. It's such a gratifying feeling. I encourage you to do it. I seriously do. So I just wanted to get on here today and talk a little bit about self accountability and expounding on it from a personal, perspective, which is mine, a personal situation, man. And it truly, truly, I feel like I'm getting to know myself for the first time. So I encourage you to reflect, hold yourself accountable for what you do. Take everything other people do out of it and think about only what you do, and you'll be surprised what you find. But until the next video, y'all know how I do. Deuce.